guys, we're back for another week of story time. Can you guess what our theme is this week? Yes, it's Earth Day. And so this week we'll be talking about like the earth and the outside and nature and different plants and animals. And so we're gonna hop right into it. Um, I'm gonna share with you a presentation here, and then I'm gonna read a book to you, and then I'm gonna stop the video, and then there'll be two other books I'm gonna read to you. And then we have a scavenger hunt at the end. So hopefully you guys can stick around for all of that. Okay? Sounds good. So I'm going to open up the vocabulary order. There. Okay, so here we are. We have Earth Day. And so our first word is Earth Day. And Earth Day is a holiday that celebrates the Earth. And so it happens in April. And over here we have like the Earth, right? Because it's a big globe, and that's what we live on. And then we also have nature and what's on Earth, and that's what we're celebrating. And so some things that people do is they spend time outside, or they clean up trash, or you just learn more about the Earth and what it has. Now our next word is pollution. And pollution is garbage and gas that harm the Earth. And so when humans live on Earth, we actually damage like different trees and animals and all the different green stuff. And we leave trash behind and stuff. And so Earth Day is around to hopefully get rid of some of this pollution. And so then the Earth can live longer, right? Yeah. And so we have trash here on lakes. I bet you've seen trash either on lakes or on the side of roads and stuff. And then over here on the right, there's like the gas in the cities and stuff that's released that hurts the Earth too. And then our final word of our vocab is the environment, and it's the natural outside world. And so like in nature, different things happen. And so there's like waterfalls and volcanoes, and that's natural, right? Because humans didn't make them. And then over here we have wildlife and flowers. And so if you want to look at the environment, Minnesota has lots of state parks you can visit too. And so maybe your parents can bring you to one of those. So now we're done with the vocab. We're going to start with our first book. And this one's pretty simple. It's just all about Earth Day. So Earth Day by Amy Margaret. See it there. All about Earth Day. Earth Day is the celebration. The first Earth Day was held in 1970. It drew attention to the need to care for our planet. Littering and pollution were becoming a problem in the United States and other places around the world. People were being wasteful with materials. Very few people recycled. Earth Day changed all that. As of 1990, the holiday of Earth Day is held on April 22nd of each year all over the world. And so I bet you've heard about recycling at school, right? You recycle your pop cans or your paper and other things too, like plastic. How Earth has changed. Over time, the number of people that live on the Earth has grown to more than 5 billion. This has made the Earth's land, air, and water change. The air has become polluted with exhaust from millions of cars, trains, and buses. Rivers and lakes and oceans have become contaminated with chemicals and waste. With so many people using so many materials, the number of garbage dumps and landfills is becoming huge. So we have all the different kinds of garbage and stuff that humans use, which is okay, but we have to take care of our Earth too. Gaylord Nelson. A man named Gaylord Nelson first thought of Earth Day. Gaylord became a U.S. Senator for Wisconsin in 1962. And Wisconsin's right next to Minnesota, right? Yeah. He thought that protecting the environment was an important issue. He spoke to the Senate about the environment. Not many politicians seemed interested in hearing what Gaylord had to say. This didn't stop Gaylord from fighting to protect the country's land, water, and wildlife. The birth of Earth Day. As a U.S. Senator, Gaylord Nelson, the founder of Earth Day, tried to get help for the environment from people throughout the country. In 1969, Gaylord heard about a big oil leak off the coast of Southern California. The leak hurt the oceans. Gaylord was so upset that he put together a nationwide demonstration about the environment. He announced that it would be held in spring of 1970. This was the birth of Earth Day. So there's pictures here about the damage that the oil did to the environment in Southern California. It's not good. Earth Day 1970. The first Earth Day was April 22nd, 1970. More than 20 million people throughout the United States took part. In New York City, people weren't allowed to drive cars along the major road called Fifth Avenue. This showed people how quiet the streets could be without cars driving down them. Because of Earth Day, the Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, a new government agency, was started. EPA tried to stop cities and companies from polluting. Earth Day 1990. The second Earth Day was celebrated on the April 22nd, 1990. Its saying was, "Think globally, act locally." This means to fix the world, each person must do his or her part. This time, 200 million people from all around the world were involved in Earth Day. Gaylord Nelson was the honorary chairman of the second Earth Day. He spoke to groups about working to save the Earth. Since Earth Day 1990, Earth Day has been held on every year on April 22nd. So there's a picture of the U.S. Capitol, and in 1990, the Earth Day. What you can do for Earth Day. Make Earth Day an important day each year. Choose an environmental issue that you care about, such as air pollution, protection of wildlife, or saving trees. With friends, think of ways you can help your cause. For example, you can write letters to local businesses and ask them to donate a tree. Then on Earth Day, you and your friends can plant the trees. To cut down on air pollution, you can put together a carpool day in honor of Earth Day. Earth Day around the world. Today, Earth Day takes place in almost every country in the world. Everyone honors this day in different ways. In Korea, 16 cities hold a car-free day for Earth Day. No cars can be driven throughout the entire day. In 2000, the United Kingdom held an eco festival. More than 40,000 people attended. In Peru, 5,000 children planted 1,000 trees around the city. Each year, the celebration of Earth Day grows. Make every day Earth Day. Earth Day may be celebrated on only one day of the year, but you can honor Earth Day every day. You can reuse grocery bags from the store. Don't forget to recycle cans and newspapers too. To cut down on litter in your neighborhood, you can just pick it up. You can save water by taking shorter showers. Don't leave the water running when you brush your teeth. Look around your neighborhood and see what you can do to make your part of the world a better place to live. Groups that protect our Earth. Many groups work to keep the Earth a safe and healthy place to live. The National Wildlife Federation works to protect the environment. They have fought to save many places and types of wildlife threatened by businesses. And they have a website that you can visit. And then there's also the Sierra Club that teaches people how to use Earth's resources carefully. So like reduce, reuse, and recycle. So that's all about Earth Day in this book. So I'm gonna pause and go grab my other two books, and then we're gonna have two other more stories about how saving the Earth does make an impact. Okay, so I'll be right back. Hey kids, we're back for our next two books, and so our first one is called Fancy Nancy and Every Day is Earth Day by Jane O'Connor. I do not like the color green very much. You can tell by my crayons. The green one looks almost new. But I adore being green, Adore is a fancy for really, really loving something. Being green means taking care of our planet. Miss Glass asks, who can tell us about Earth Day? I wave my hand and say, it's like a holiday for our planet. That's right, says Miss Glass, but I like to think that every day is Earth Day. What class discusses rules for being green? Discuss means to talk, only it's fancier and more serious. Then we write the rules down. At home, I am shocked. I see my family needs to be much greener. My dad is about to drive to the supermarket. Dad, I say, the green rule is less than a mile, bike in style. At the checkout line, the guy asks my dad if we want paper or plastic. I say to my dad, please take note. Always bring a tote. A tote is a fancy word for a shopping bag. It's kind of funny but rhymes, right? Yeah. Later that night, it gets cold. My mom wants to turn up the heat. No, Mom, I say. It's better to wear a sweater. In the morning, I stand outside the bathroom. Very soon I shout, Dad, don't waste water. Get clean, but stay green. At school, we make a poster. Robert says, we are like superheroes. We are protecting planet Earth. He's got a special cape on too to protect the Earth. That night, I see my mom's computer is on. Right away, I turn it off. My mom comes into the room. She says, she sees the blank screen. Why did you do that? She asks. I tell her she is wasting energy. I was writing something for work, my mom says. Just went to go get my glasses. Now I lost everything I wrote. I have to start all over. She is very irritated. That is a fancy word for mad. But how was I to know? I am just protecting the planet. I sometimes make my mom irritated too, so it happens. I tell my sister not to run the water while she brushes her teeth. I remind my parents to turn off the lights in empty rooms. Before bed, I go into my sister's room. I start to turn off the lamp. Oh no, my mom says. Your sister is afraid of the dark, and she likes the light on. Soon my sister is asleep. Now she does not need the light on. I tiptoe into her room and turn off the light. In the middle of the night, I wake up. I hear my sister crying. What is wrong? Your sister woke up and she got scared, Dad says. She was alone in the dark. Did you turn off the lamp? Yes, I say. I am so sorry. I didn't think she would wake up. I start crying too. Next morning, my parents say, it is important to be green, and we will try harder, but you must not be so bossy, and you must be flexible. That is the opposite of stubborn. You sometimes bossy and stubborn? Maybe not yet, but you will be. At school, I perk up. Miss Glass adores my poster. My green crayon does not look new anymore. My family is really greener now. Tonight at dinner, we use candles, not light bulbs. We use cloth napkins, not paper ones. But guess what? Being green can also be very fancy. And that's good because her name's Fancy Nancy, right? Yeah. So now for our next book. It's got some really cool art in it. It's called My Friend Earth. And it's written by Patricia McLean. Open it up. My Friend Earth. Get a little bit closer. My friend Earth wakes up from a winter nap. She hears the busy spring sound. sounds, and the farmer's hoe tapping in the garden, and the claws of crows. She sees the little silent seed, the spider silver, the robin, and the wrens. At the long-winged albatross crossing the sea, the mole tunneling underneath the dark. She guides chimpanzee to her night's rest. And the baby zebra to find his mother, and the hundreds of black and white striped mothers. She tends the prairie where sun-dappled wild horses run through grasses that switch across their legs. The tundra where the reindeer graze for moss, and the glistening ice where the young polar bear pads on mitted feet. She guides all the creatures in all the oceans. The black manta rays sleek like shadows, the shining parrotfish, the tiny krill who swim with millions of other krill to look big, and the whales who are big. My friend Earth pours summer rain to fill streams, flowing down mountains, through the fields, through the rivers, and the sea. Sometimes she pours too much rain, flooding towns and meadows and roads, until she dries the land. Sometimes she blows fierce autumn winds, sweeping the limbs of trees and shingles from the roofs of barns, until she stills the wind, so red and orange and yellow leaves float to the ground. When the cold comes again, my friend Earth sprinkles the snow, whispers silent, covering the dens where the baby black bears are born in soft darkness, drifting over the icy pond where the turtle sleeps in mud, settling into the empty nests of birds. Under the light, the silent seed is cradled in the dark soil, watching, waiting to fly again in the warm, bright sun of spring. The end. And so hopefully you're able to see some of the really cool pictures this book has, but if not, make sure you guys check it out from the library, okay? So that's done with all our books for this week, and now I'm gonna go get the story time activity ready, and then I'm gonna come back and do that, okay? Sounds good. See you in a little. Hey kids, and so for our activity here, you guys ready? So do you have a piece of paper? Yep. So we're gonna do a scavenger hunt. And so I'm gonna show you different things that you can find in Morris, either in your yard, or maybe your parents can bring you a place, or you can like do them one at a time. And so you don't have to do them right now, or just whenever your parents let you, okay? And so you write them down, and then you can check them on the list when you find them, okay? Sounds good. And so you just want to copy what I have here. And so I'm gonna click the present button. So we have scavenger hunt for Earth Day. And so first we have a windmill. And so you can copy the writing down and just write down windmill on your paper. So I got a little bit of a windmill, kind of small. And then I'm gonna put a square next to it. Right? So this little box. And then when you find it, you can check it off or put an X in it. And if you want, you can maybe draw a quick little picture of what a windmill is. And so then you remember what it is. Or you see, that's not a very good picture, but that's what a windmill is. And so then if you think you might forget, or you can just leave it as it is. So our next one is a frog. Yeah. Maybe some of you won't have to go anywhere to find a frog. I know I've seen a couple in Morris just walking around on sidewalks. Okay. Next one, we have a solar panel. And so then you're gonna write solar panel. And if I go too fast, make sure you pause the video and you write it down. But there are solar panels on campus. So maybe if you go with your parents to go get groceries, they can drive by the solar panels and you can check it off your scavenger hunt. Ooh, acorns. So make sure you write that down. Maybe you have acorns in your own yard. Maybe they're in a friend's yards, or maybe you'll just see them in the street because they kind of fall and blow everywhere too. Ooh, a flower garden. And so maybe your mom has a flower garden, or maybe you have flowers and plants around your house, and that could check it off. Or there's also a flower garden in Morris by the lookout by Palm de Terre Park. And so maybe your parents could bring you over there, except I don't know how many flowers it's showing right now, but it is a flower garden. Next one, we have a dam, and this one's by the dog park. So a dam kind of controls what water does, but if you've never seen it before, it's kind of a neat place to be. And so put this one on your list. Make sure you put a box next to it so you can check it off. And then we have a lake. It doesn't need to be a big lake, but there are different lakes here, either in Morris or just little ponds too. Ooh, squirrels. There's lots of squirrels. Maybe you'll have to sit inside and look outside so you don't scare the squirrels away, and then you can see them. But I'm sure you can find a squirrel somewhere in Morris. And this one might be the toughest one. It's a woodpecker. Maybe you might need help from your parents finding one, but I know I always hear them. I don't always see them. So that's kind of fun too. Finally, some brush or shrubs. These are like plants, but they don't have flowers. I mean, some of them do, but they're just kind of nice decoration. Also, prairie grass sometimes looks like shrubs too, and so I'm sure you can find some in Morris. I know I've seen them when I've been inside town. And so that's it for that. It's on a stop. And if you didn't get anything, you can go back and look. But then you can see there's the names of the things that you're going to go find in the box. And so let's say I found a frog. And so I can just put a big X over that box. And then see, I found a frog. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And so then at the bottom, you can put a big dashed line and a 10. Just like this. And then you can find out how many out of 10. And so if I found a frog, that's going to be a 1 out of 10 on the scavenger hunt. And so I bet you can find more than 1. I hope so too. And so it doesn't need to be completed in one day. Maybe you want to make it a whole week, but I challenge you to find as many things as you can, okay? And so hopefully you have fun with that. And I hope to see you next time at next week's story time, okay? So see you then. Bye.